Alrighty. The last final love pod.
The finale.
Getting it over with.
Yeah.
The last time you'll love again.
Till the next year.
Oh yeah. For sure.
It's AC cooling down the heat.
And it's howling out the truth over here.
It's DT, you know who it is.
Welcome back to another pod. To another love pod.
Yep.
The love pod.
See, he's happy and lovey today. You know why? This is a podcast about the end game. About being in a relationship where you want to be. Making a good place.
It's about the love.
About the love. He's got it, man.
The love that's in the air.
He's got the answers for all of
us
seeking.
It's like the hearts all over the top of my head.
Oh, yeah. It's
just
like
for him, bro. Just for him.
It's his heart swirling around your head like a cartoon. Yeah.
Hey, bro,
I'm sorry that Cupid haven't hit you guys yet.
Oh, damn, that's a roast. Damn.
Hey.
Damn.
All right. Well, first thing first, I just want to appreciate you guys, the audience, staying tuned and listening to the love series.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, as we know, this is the end of the love pod, but that doesn't mean this is the end of making a love pod.
Yeah. That means if y'all like it, we can absolutely bring this back.
Yeah,
for next year.
Next year, exactly.
Yeah,
next
for season
year.
2.
Yeah, season 2 for the love pod, and maybe we could bring our significant other in here.
That'll be different.
And now,
you know what I'm also thinking too? We can make a bet, Thomas.
Oh my god!
Next Valentine's Day, if we both single, that means everything that we talked about was trash. Was cap.
Damn.
That was just cap. It didn't work.
I feel like that's gonna happen to me.
It's
for
like
sure.
we didn't learn from our own pod.
Nah, if we do the stats that we talked about today in the last podcast, and we still come back looking just like this,
damn.
I'm gonna be fuming.
Shoot, by 2025, it's gotta be different.
Ain't no one gonna believe us.
Hey, but no worries. It's okay to be single. You know.
Oh yeah.
If you're not ready to mingle, you don't force yourself.
By next year we won't have anybody, but he'll be married and have his firstborn by next year.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's good.
Firstborn.
That's crazy. Wait, this is what he told you? You told him this?
I already told him nothing.
No, I'm just joking.
He's just jumping.
I'm just playing, yeah.
He's adding more.
I'm messing.
It's just a possibility for next year. But everything's going to stay the same with me.
That sounds like a bright future.
Sounds like a good one.
Yeah, it's so soon, too.
So, funny quick little story. I went to Jamaica, and all those guys over there assumed that she was my wife.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They get married.
The pictures kind of look like that, too.
And then another funny thing is that her cousin's boyfriend or husband was like, "Yeah, you gotta talk to your brother-in-law." I was like,
"Oh, he's in the family."
I was like, "Okay."
Oh, he's in the mix.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
But let's start this out.
Let's start. I got a question.
The love.
Exactly to that. You're talking about family.
Yeah.
How important is it that you get to know each other's family?
I think it's very, very important if you're a family person, because I'm a huge family person. I'm a and also
you're a family guy.
Yeah. I think it helps you learn a lot by a person too.
Yep.
How they were created, how they were raised, and
yeah, you're right.
That's true.
How they were taught as a person, like to be a human being in this world.
Yeah.
Because I'm so amazed by my girlfriend. Seriously, she's so genuine, she's so thoughtful, she's so caring, and I could see why. She has a dope ass family. I like hanging out with them. They're fun, they're chill, they're fun to talk to. She's she's funny and corny too, and I could see where she get her jokes and her corniness from. And it builds up, You kind of learn from the family. You learn who she is, how she was raised, type of thing.
Yeah, this is definitely the first time I've noticed that you have a very genuine relationship.
Yeah. Well, it's not I feel in general though, if you're meeting let's say a homie's family, Like, I met your dad before. It kind of made me realize who you are as a person. I met your dad before. It kind of made me realize who you are as a person, too, in a way. And, like, you met my family. You kind of know who I am as a person in a way, too. It
all connects.
Yeah, it all connects, you know. In a relationship, it's definitely really important if they're more involved with their family, right? Yeah. There's a lot of people are not that much involved with their family, which is understandable too. Yeah. But in this circumstance, it's important because she's close with her family and she fucks with them and she was raised by them too. So I think it's important if they have a close relationship to understand that relationship too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Especially because I forgot what you said, you know, but she wasn't born in America, you know.
No, yeah, so, she was born in the Philippines too. So like I think I don't know, but like I think majority of her family is from the Philippines. So she grew up there and raised there with majority of the family that I think I see now.
Yeah, so meeting them would definitely give you an idea of who she is, you know. Yeah, and her culture.
And her culture too, exactly. I learned a lot of food. Yeah. And I learned some words. And Can
you speak
No. Don't put me on the spot like that. So I know one word that I'm really familiarized from.
Saying hi in that language.
No, it's aunt. It's tita. Tita. Yeah. So
that's a memorable word.
It'll be like it'll be like let's say like Tita Shirley. That's my aunt name. Shirley.
Tita Shirley.
That'd be Aunt Shirley in a way, but in Tagalog.
That's what I'm gonna say, Tagalog. That's what that's the language that we were talking about in the Navy podcast. Most people, besides from Caucasian, was Filipino.
Oh right.
So they had their own little mafia. They always talking that in the corner. Yeah. Like what they talking about? And it was
so it'll be like that. You know, in the family events when I hang out with them, they're speaking Tagalog. And then Tagalish, which is like Tagalog mixed with English, and then
know that,
huh?
I said I didn't even know that.
Yeah, well, it's the majority of Duolingo people too. Like me, I speak Cantonese, but I don't speak full Cantonese. It'll be
not broken, but you know mixed.
Yeah, Canto-Inglo. I don't know the mix. I don't know the mix abbreviation on that one.
Can't speak Canese.
Can't speak Canese.
That's a good one.
Fakanese. But stuff like it was dope. You know, catching a few words and stuff, and it's interesting because like I don't understand it, but like sometimes I kind of understand where the conversation is going. Mm-hmm. If it's like broken English, like if it's not broken English, like if it's mixed with English, I kind of get an idea of what they're saying.
Like
yeah.
Cool. But I'm sure there's a lot.
Because I don't know if every language have like the exact words for some English words.
No.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes.
But not going off that, but I just kind of want to give an intro of you know how before I got into a relationship.
Yeah, talk about it.
I'm gonna look down on my notes because I wrote a lot and I have a terrible memory, so I would not remember.
Yeah, that was one of the basic questions I was gonna ask anyway.
Ask your
just
question.
Like how did you guys meet and all that? And,
so before I get onto that, I'm gonna get an intro of before meeting her and where my stage was.
I might as well start from the start.
Yeah. So this is my intro. So at first, I wasn't really looking for any relationships, right? Mm-hmm. I was just a guy just trying to grind.
I remember that phase.
I didn't give a fuck about relationships. I didn't give a fuck.
That was like a big era too of your life too, right?
I didn't give a fuck about anybody, only my friends and family at that point in my stage of life. Mm-hmm. I really just wanted to focus on the gym, projects, getting promoted at a job, basically making myself someone.
Yeah, like building yourself.
To be desired.
Yeah. And also, like, I was starting to, like, find ways to love myself and find inspiration to do shit. And then, that was my era because I didn't think, like, love was necessary yet. Self-love was necessary first before finding love. So I didn't really push on finding anybody before I focused on myself.
Okay.
And just like you, Thomas, I honestly thought I'd given up the idea of love.
Yeah, that's how I cope. Is just like
because all these fucking stories of people getting cheated on and getting heartbreaks and stuff like that.
It's kind of ridiculous at this point.
And it just makes me feel kind of shitty, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought, like, I wouldn't be able to find someone that will love me for me and find genuine love.
Yeah.
These guys, you know, ain't working for them. We'll hope that we have some type of thought process, you know?
Yeah. And, especially this generation, it makes me feel like the odd one out because I didn't really like going out partying and stuff like that, you know. Thomas can do a big vouch for me.
Oh because true, yeah.
Majority of times,
that was a short phase.
Majority of the time, we hang out. We don't really go out that often.
Yeah, I'm not
unless we go with like a group of guys.
Yeah, that
right? We go to the bars and stuff with coworkers and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But if we go to like big function events, I'm just like,
I'm the same way. I'm not even a good I don't want to dance. I'm just like I'm more of an observer at a party. That's why I realize I'm not even like a party person.
I've never been to like a club or anything. You know, with Augustine, I think about it. You know, always I was going.
Yeah, we only went in Vegas. Like that was the only time.
It was like even in Vegas, I didn't really enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't enjoy like.
So you enjoyed the traveling, the scenery more so.
Yeah,
than the fun
I like the traveling, the scenery. Just like a group of homies going out for drinks and having conversation.
Yeah, also intoxicated. It didn't even really matter at the club. You know, I just did whatever.
It might be a different story for Thomas, but for me, I was just like, you know, I was having fun. I was trying to have fun, enjoy the vibe.
Yeah,
but
how fancy?
There's not a thing for me to like. Oh, I would do that again.
Yeah.
That's like the last time we did it. I think damn near.
Like. If I really enjoyed it, I feel like I would be clubbing here in Seattle too.
Yeah, you know exactly. Which I don't even recall a time that we did.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, except like going to like a music event or something.
Yeah, but that's different though. That's like listening to music.
Yeah, that's a lot different. Yeah.
And also like it was hard to find real genuine relationships. Mm-hmm. For me at the time, I just didn't think there was anything genuine.
It's hard to find genuine people too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they say keep your circle small. You know.
Yeah, true. Which we both have. Yeah.
But.
So, no.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I just got questions for you. Now, feel free to keep sharing your experience. But also get the more general. What exactly do you think changed in your life before meeting your girlfriend? Before you ever knew she existed, what changed to get you in a perspective where it's like, oh. Maybe your relationship is good for me. Because obviously you had to get to that point.
There's like a before and after, right?
So what changed was just meeting her.
Really?
It was like meeting her in person.
Was it like immediate?
Yeah, it was immediate change.
Okay, I see exactly what you're saying.
I walked in, I walked in straight up thinking like I'm not going to come out in a relationship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just walked in genuinely trying to meet this person.
Like low expectations.
Not low expectations, but
it's not looking for anything.
It's just I wasn't like presently looking for anything. I was just generally just looking forward to meet her, get to know her, build a genuine connection. Mm-hmm. Not something like, not like I'm gonna be straight up honest. Not like anything sexual, not anything like, and it was not anything like that. It was just like. I'm gonna hang out with her, like go on at this date, get to know her, have things like see something like if there's something genuine or not. And that day when we talked and we met up, I felt like she was really genuine, and that changed me. Like I'm like, this is the girl.
Yeah,
I've been searching for.
Yeah, that's like one of your most amazing stories.
Yeah,
because. The first date that we ever had, or the first time we ever hung out, she told me, a stranger, a stranger, to drive home safe and let me know when you get home.
Oh yeah, I remember you told me that at the time.
And I was like,
just like
I'm like
confetti just everywhere.
I'm just like
that's cool.
I'm like, and who in the hell says that? Like, not even some of my friends says that. And, like, hearing a girl
That's pretty meaningful, right?
Yeah. That from this generation say that to me was a big like a big bam.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know, we don't in our generation. You know, as young guys, we don't really get complimented much on our appearances, but because it's been normalized to be complimented on your appearances for everything, when you do, it don't really matter that much. It's like whatever.
Yeah.
So hearing something like that is like that's something that actually makes you think, oh, this person actually
Yeah,
does care.
I feel like it's more meaningful when it's like less often.
It feels more genuine. You know what I mean? Because they're like they care. But why would she care when after like meeting on our first day?
Yeah,
so before she got hard.
And okay, I did talk to her. I did kind of ask her why she said that on the first day. She was like, she said she thought I was genuine, and because on the first day, I just kind of just gave myself an intro to her of who I am and why what I've become. Mm-hmm. And then she did herself as well. She opened up. I opened up on the first date.
Oh, nice.
It was interesting.
Same level.
Yeah, and we went to get one drink, and it was pretty interesting. We kept talking. We kept vibing. I really loved the vibe. Immediately, I asked her to hang out the next time she can.
Nice.
And then we were able to meet up again. And then progressively, we were able to get more dates in, and then it became what it became, a blossom.
Nice. So there wasn't any like awkward moments at all, like.
No, there's. In a stage like this, before you get serious, there's always gonna be awkward moments. It doesn't
even when you do get serious.
Even like
it's hard to imagine like no awkwardness at all. Like
it's like oh, like I need to fart. But do I want to fart in front of her type of thing? Because that would be awkward.
But once you drop her off, then you can release it.
No. But
Augustine, have you ever farted in front of your girlfriend?
Hell yeah, she already knows. She already knows. That's a funny question. It's a natural thing, and she farted in front of me too.
Oh damn! That's when you know it's real.
It's about comfort, you know, being with each other. But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying though. It's awkward phases like that builds a connection in a phase of a relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's real. For real.
Yeah. But going back to like my intro, so before meeting like Azel, my girlfriend, to go back, how I said the generation made me feel out of place and odd. I didn't really like partying, going to clubs and stuff like that. And then it was hard to find my ideal relationship. Yeah. Because this is my personal ideal relationship. This doesn't have to be any of you guys or any of you two. But my ideal relationship for me is two couples constantly pushing each other to excel and succeed. Loyal, of course. Well communicative. Loving, caring, thoughtful, and big two foodies. I'm a huge ass foodie. Yep.
Okay.
I'm a huge ass foodie.
At least you're a man that knows what you want.
And
it's tailored to him.
Yeah.
And then she's a foodie too. You know, we've been going on dates, trying different food, going to places that we love and just enjoying food, and we just bond over it. Yeah. I mean, that's not the only thing we bond, but that's a big thing for me.
Because eating's a big part of it, you know?
Well, and to be honest, I said this before in the previous pods, or one of the previous pod. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be in this podcast.
Oh, yeah, you did say that.
So she pushed me to excel, to do something I'm uncomfortable with. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
so that's why it didn't happen too long after since relationship until we did this. That was only like a few months gap.
And then guess what? I also got a new car because I want to show her that I'm a real ass man and I'm not some bum ass guy on the street. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Just called me out. No, I'm kidding.
No, you just got a car, bro.
That's true.
You just got a car. You're no bum.
That is true.
But I'm just joking.
No, you're not a bum either.
I'll just put us on.
Hey, Thomas, this is Thomas' place.
Yeah, this is his place.
He's no bum.
Yeah. I mean, I pay rent here.
This is what he
yeah. But my biggest advice to you guys, and to you two, if you just want to take it. If not, that's totally fine.
Come on, I'll take advice, man.
I'll always take a bit of it.
But we definitely talked. We definitely talked about this. We definitely talked about this before too. We just stop searching. You know, let it either come to you or
like more natural.
Yeah.
Like
Or when you're ready, just go out there. When you feel ready and you're confident within yourself and you love yourself, just go out there. Don't force it. Mm-hmm. When it comes forced, it doesn't feel right.
Yeah, like you think it's
even your body, your soul, your mind will tell you that it does not feel right.
Yeah, do you consider it forced if you're just walking up to like a random chick at a bar?
Well, that's just you attempting. I mean, well, if you're in a bar, probably not, definitely not. But let's say you're just walking.
It is forceful if a friend like, hey, go over there, go talk to
forceful
that girl.
Wingman.
Yeah.
You can still absolutely do that,
and you still do it. You'll be like, yeah, that is forcing yourself to do something you're not ready for.
Yeah, and it might be like a drunk decision too.
Well, that too.
If it's like a bar.
But if you're actually attempting to go out to talk to a girl at a bar, that's not forcing yourself. Because you're trying to make an attempt or to like
action.
Yeah, to take action or to see where it goes.
Yeah, true. It just seems like not that many people do that nowadays.
Just like what I said, I didn't force myself to go out with Azel. I just made an attempt to see where things go.
Yeah.
There are definitely experiences you're gonna have chicks out there. Cause I've had some recently where you definitely can tell it's like, nah, your brain ain't in it, your soul ain't in it, but you still do it anyways. That's what it really means, like forcing yourself into.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And like another big thing is that
well, hold on, can I get back to what you just said before?
Yeah.
So you said, if you feel like you're ready, go out there and look for it. Now, I think in this generation, it has to be talked about. Dating apps. Is that considered looking for it?
That's a great question. I'm a huge a big hater on social media and dating apps, and the reason why is I don't feel like anyone's getting a real genuine connection through these.
Yeah, I feel that.
These apps or social media until you meet up with them.
Absolutely.
But obviously, in this generation, you're going to have to go on these apps and find a way to meet up with them and then to see the genuine bond.
Yeah.
Probably can't really tell until you meet them in person, too.
But to answer your question, what was your question directly again?
Oh, I just thought it was saying it's important that we include dating apps in the conversation.
Well, yeah,
looking for women.
I just say, for me, I'm in the middle of it because this is our generation and that's how we're going to reach out to, certain people too nowadays. It's a way to find genuine relationships, but another hand is not genuine to be on the apps.
How I think of it is like pull up anybody in a 10-mile radius. Name the last time any of them found genuine relationship off of a dating app. That's how I think of it. You ain't find one, not a one.
Unless you really meet up with them and then you get a feel, talk and stuff like that.
You hold their urges off.
But how do you set that up though? You know what I mean? If you're
that's the thing. It's just you're playing you're playing with fire. You're playing roulette at this. You're gambling, to be honest. You're taking a chance whether a hit and miss type of situation.
Yeah. But obviously, she knows it's safe. You would go meet in a public spot. Obviously.
A what?
If for her to be sure that she's safe meeting you, you would have to meet at a public place. Obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Can't just meet at your place. That would be kind of weird.
Again, it depends on her.
That is true. It depends on the person.
Depends what they're looking for too.
Yeah, because
some people are just off the bat.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 times.
There's different type of people I see. They can be different, I guess. Yeah.
But going back to my advice, so besides stop searching and let it come to you or go out there when you're ready, learn how to love yourself. What we talked about. Generally love yourself and appreciate yourself. Not taking yourself for granted and the people around you for granted, and by people like the good people, not the bad people. Because just don't get those two mixed up. The bad people can mixed up with the good people.
Yeah, they're completely opposite sides.
How do you feel about taking yourself too seriously? Think about this, right? Some people can get caught up in their heads too much about having goals that they have to achieve. Having goals that they have to achieve. I mean, when they look for a relationship, the first chick they see, they gonna go up to them with the main purpose of looking for a relationship. But it's just talk to her as a human. Just talk to her, as if just another stranger walking about the day.
Well, that's the thing. Going back, what I was saying about my first date.
Mm-hmm.
I was going in just to meet a person.
Yeah.
Not to have a wife, not to have a girlfriend, not to have any sexual attentions. My intention was just to meet her, get to know her, talk to her, build a genuine connection. You can't label something that's not there.
You know
what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Like, you can have all this shit in your head being like, oh yeah, like I want her my future girlfriend or my future wife and shit like that. But you can't change how do you interact with that person until you interact with that person and see where it goes.
But when you think about it though, that's what most people do. Think about it.
That is true.
That's what most people
because
do.
a lot of people these days, they have a very egotistic mindset. They give themselves false hope. Like, oh yeah, I'm the man. I build I can bench 225. I can get this girl. Yeah, that girl right there at the gym. Yeah, she's mine. I'm gonna go up to her right now. Talk to her. Gets rejected.
So
that's by the way, sorry. That's not my personal experience.
No.
It's just a lot of those there's a lot of those brodies out there.
Yeah, gym bros.
Those gym bros. Yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
But yeah, I think it's just important to touch on like not taking it too seriously to the point where you're putting a wall in front of potential friendships or just fun experiences with a stranger.
Don't label, like I said, do not label something that is not labeled directly by the other person too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It takes two to label something. Not if you're labeling someone else,
because it ain't school anymore. You know, if you really like a certain chick, you know, and you ain't in school, it ain't about having crushes and constantly trying to get at that. Nah, man, you gotta just go about your business, and they might partake upon the business with you. You know? Yeah.
But
not in that way.
Yeah, going back to what I was saying about my advice is that when you gotta appreciate yourself constantly, and then another thing is that you gotta constantly improve and work on yourself. And the reason why I'm saying that is, if you don't learn how to improve and work on yourself, how are you able to be in a relationship when something goes wrong on your end? You're gonna need to learn how to find a way to solve it. One, two, work on yourself to not make it happen again, and improve how like your reaction or how you respond to it or stuff like that. Maturely, of course.
Yeah.
So I would say all three of us here can agree on self-growth is the most vital thing you can have, which means self-growth is self-love, right? So it's two of the same thing. Self-growth is the most vital thing you can have if you're looking for a relationship.
Yeah.
Or if you're just open-minded to one.
Yeah, for sure. Because it'll just look unattractive if you're the opposite way, like not even caring.
If you're not willing to grow, I'll tell you this: like nobody would be interested in you at all.
No, hold on.
Yeah, definitely.
Because let's remember now, there are plenty of relationships where neither of them are trying to grow. Come on now. Let's be honest with ourselves.
But let's be honest though.
They're not going nowhere.
Yeah, where do we see them?
It's like
at?
an unhealthy relationship.
Where do we see them at? They get married, they get divorced.
Oh yeah, that's too common.
They're broke, whatever, like shit like that.
That's the type of couple was constantly arguing. Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is that there's a difference of where you can see yourself at as a person growing than someone not growing.
Yeah,
different in the future, by all means, you're gonna face the consequences. Yeah. But like
different potentials.
Learn how to grow and improve yourself now before you get into like the worst of worst consequences.
And that's why it's so important that you don't do rebound relationships, because you're just not growing. You just that's the opposite of growing. That's a whole tangent, but man, self-growth. Self-love.
Yeah. That goes back on the pod on Desmond, to be
both
honest.
of them.
Oh yeah.
Self-love.
Also learn how to self-motivate and self-care yourself.
Yeah, that comes first.
Yeah.
Because stay motivated, because the reason why I'm saying stay motivated is if there's a possibility that you don't end up in a relationship,
so be it.
Keep going, keep growing, move your game, keep moving forward. And in self-care, don't fucking harm yourself because you lost your significant other. Just keep moving forward to stay strong. Or if you didn't even get into a significant or to have a significant other, don't even worry about it. Move on. You'll find something eventually. Don't
Can I say
force
something about
it.
that real quick?
Yeah.
Because, it wasn't too long ago I was, virgin little, boy trying to craving all these women. But coming from that, right, I can think of too many examples of young men that ain't had it yet, whether it be a relationship or loss of virginity, where they crave it no matter what. And that's why I asked what I asked before, because they have self-growth, self-love is not even in their brain. It's not even, they're not thinking about it at all. All they want is a relationship no matter what. So I guess what I mean to say, right, is that when he's saying, don't think about it, man, you're going to think about it. Like, it's just going to happen. Try your best not to. And when you do think about it, you got to use that as fuel to motivate yourself to do the things you're supposed to be doing. And it will come.
Exactly.
But a lot of people ain't going to do that.
Well, the thing is that a lot of these virgins, per se, would think about just sex.
Yeah.
And just discard everything else. You're losing yourself as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
2, you became like
everybody else
a weird like little demon on yourself. Yeah. Just like, oh, think about sex, think about sex. Oh, look at that girl or look at that guy type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, nah, like, we're all humans.
Yeah.
Just
control your cravings.
Just relax. Work on yourself. Don't be fucking weird.
Crazy.
Yeah. Don't be crazy. Learn how to grow. Learn how to be yourself. Learn how to love yourself, and then someone will love you for who you are, and then you'll find something that you appreciate. Not just sex, because later on you're gonna be like, oh wait, that wasn't what I thought it would be.
Yeah. Sorry, let's look at the audio. All right. So there was one question that kind of skimmed over a little bit earlier, but what is there any relationship out there that or it can be just a person, not even a relationship, that kind of inspires your decisions on yours? Like,
that's a great question. There's not like a specific relationship out there that inspires me.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just grab what I see that's healthy from each relationship that I like to grab from.
Yeah.
That's not directly just from a specific relationship, just all the healthy like pinpoints I see.
Very healthy elements.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because I think not all relationships are perfect.
No. There's not a single one.
You're trying to learn from all of them and trying to make your own.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
I think she's touching that. Not a single relationship is perfect. Just like there's not a single person in the world is having a perfect life.
And also, sometimes it doesn't start healthy too.
Yeah. It could even be a mixed bag of unhealthy and healthy at the same time.
Yeah.
It can be mixed.
But basically, before I met Azel, what kept me going as a single man before getting into a relationship, that kept me motivated and distracted from everything else that you guys talked about, are my passions. And hopefully you guys could take on this or not, or find your own passions. But the gym was a very big one for me because, one, it pushed all my anger, depression out of my fucking soul. I'll tell you this.
Yep.
I go inside every fucking morning and I'm just mad at the gym fucking lifting all those heavy weights.
Yeah.
I put in all my anger.
That's how you blow off steam. Like,
and
that's a healthy way.
And that's how I put all my anger and depression out.
Mentally healthy.
And that's how I start every day before I even start my fucking day. That's my start. I like to release all that anger and depression out on the gym.
Yeah, and you're very consistent with it. I'll give you that.
Because it been helping me so it been helping me so much mentally. It also benefits me in my health.
True.
But I'll tell you this: I did it for mental health. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I did do it for trying to look big and shit.
Yeah, but you do it for discipline too.
But I directly did it for mental health, to be honest.
Because when you don't go
it
to
makes
the gym,
it makes me feel much better. Like, I blast my music, lifting some heavy weight, put my anger in.
I even feel like that when I do runs. I'm like more in a clear headspace right after.
I know it's for me, right? it does certainly suck away a little bit at that depression and, you know, whatever anguish I'm feeling. But I will still feel it afterwards. But it gives me the confidence and motivation to deal with it. And be like,
well, you know, I'm not saying it's gonna take it all away.
Oh no, yeah.
But in the beginning of the day, it's a good way to show yourself that you're able to take it away by doing something.
Yeah.
And it gets you excited to do it the next day.
It's true.
To just take it away.
Good point.
And I'm not gonna lie, Thomas can vouch on a lot of these things because me and him used to do a lot of these things together.
Yeah, that's why I was giving you credit that you were very consistent for like
and
years.
And then another thing was hiking for me.
Oh yeah, I went a few times.
Yep. Some of these hikes for me, it just gave me peace of mind because you're with nature, right? Mm-hmm. You're just peacefully just walking up hills, looking at nature. Everything is so fucking peaceful. You don't really think about anything in the world. You don't think about anything stressful. You're just looking. You're just enjoying nature with your homies.
Yeah,
you're a little nature baby. Okay.
Yeah. And then another thing, photography. It kept me distracted too. It can capture each individual's of their state of mind and expression of their time, and you can kind of realize that you're not alone in the world, that they're going through shit too.
That's a
you
bar.
can kind of capture you can kind of capture their like portrait and be like, you can kind of see that they're not happy, they're going through something through their mind, because sometimes you can really see it.
Yeah, it makes the world all connect together.
And every time I edit like the photos on like Lightroom on Adobe, I'm like, yeah, wow, I'm not alone. Like I see people going through shit in their head right now on these photos and shit. Like it makes me feel a little more peaceful too.
Yeah,
it doesn't make me feel good about myself, you know, because seeing people like sad and shit like that, or like, but it helps me like understand, you know, that you're not just the only one in the world that's going through shit.
Yeah, exactly. I even remember a specific encounter we met like on like near the end of a hike too, and they were talking about shit they were going through.
Yeah,
but very specific.
And another big one for me is friendship and family. Without you guys, you know, it wouldn't teach me to appreciate the people around me and stuff like that, and you know, that also teaches you what's healthy. That should be around you.
Yeah.
And
family man.
Don't take like I said before, don't take any of your friends and family for granted. If they're doing good for you, like mentally good for you and healthy for you and in a positive mindset and in a positive state of like the pathway you're trying to go to, do not take them for granted. Without these guys, you know, I'm in a positive path right now doing this podcast.
When you think about it, there could be alternate universes where it doesn't even happen.
And without my family, like, you know, enjoying a nice meal with them and like talking to them sometimes, like, you know, bonding with them,
enjoying the small moments.
The small moments, you'll realize that, you know, you don't need to worry about any other shit. Not like no relationships, no girl, no boy problem type shit. You're just enjoying your time with the people around you that loves you and that supports you too.
That's really a good blast of reality real quick. It's like a lot of people be walking around like, oh, I got enemies. Nobody even know your name, bro. You ain't got no enemies. And it's like people that think like that. That's
like going back to the previous pod, Demon Time.
Yep.
You're just like looking down like, oh, fuck all these guys. They don't fuck. I'll fuck them up. Type shit. Like no. Don't have that mindset. No, nobody's your enemy. Like they don't know you. You don't know them.
Some people are like on and off with that too.
Oh, this guy's giving me the wrong look.
I think people get to that point when they don't take that advice. They don't enjoy the small things in life, because a lot of people they don't care that they have a family. They don't care that they got friends. They just don't care. They just have it. You know. They don't think about it. And that's why they get all negative.
And then they get all negative, and they get in this grouchy mood, and then
this is not even reality.
They think the world is ending. Type.
Then
shit.
They get drunk one of these days,
and then they'll take abuse. They abuse the fucking drugs and shit. Addiction comes in. Okay, but another big thing besides that, another big thing about that is something that commonly used is music.
It's my outlet.
Yeah. You can make or listen to music, and it'll put you in a really peaceful minded state. And I know a lot of you guys can agree too.
I can agree about you be vibing to that music.
A lot of people be listening to music. You be listening to music. You be listening to music. You be making music. You be making music. You people out there be listening to music as a vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Don't take it for granted. Enjoy it, bro. I be noticing, bro. You sit down and actually let yourself just hear the music.
Yeah,
man, it changes your whole.
It doesn't care
mood.
what genre it is.
Yeah,
it's just like it's the
mood,
vibe,
bro.
you know.
You can. It just puts you in peace. You just vibe out. Nothing around you in the world can stop you. Just like bumping, like
I mean, unless he bumping King Von, you know. Rest in peace, all respect. But I ain't gonna lie to you. You ain't about to have a good day.
That was just giving you motivation to shoot up a school. Or something,
you ain't about to have no good motivation, bro.
Another thing is, don't be afraid to be open minded too. Step out your comfort zone. Try something new, you know, or be a bit adventurous.
Yeah, it's called a growth mindset because the opposite is a fixed mindset, which is like closed minded, basically. Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I'm saying you should have an open mind is, sometimes your significant other wouldn't like. You know, sometimes you will have a conversation with them, and you're going to have to be open-minded about some of these conversations with them because, you know, you wouldn't really know sometimes, like, what they're talking about.
Oh, to avoid misunderstandings?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you totally don't have to share this, but do you have any examples of maybe something you guys communicated on and just because there was a layer of like how you guys communicated that's not exactly discussed upon?
Well... So, I'm not gonna say any direct times or things that we said, but as we all know that no couples are the same. Mm-hmm. They have their own mindset. I have my own mindset. They talk in a certain way. I talk my own certain way. Yeah. So there's bound to be a miscommunication because. You know, how they talk won't be the same way how you perceive and talk too.
Exactly.
And, that's why I'm saying you gotta have an open mind to learn their language. Not like their actual language, but like how they talk and stuff and how they communicate to you and stuff like that. Or how they perceive certain things and stuff like that.
But I feel like you still catch a little bit of that like over time. Like you pick up what they're picking up on.
Oh, yeah.
Right, but sometimes
but not everything.
But sometimes people are so close-minded, they would not even try to understand them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I've done it a few times. So
if they're so stubborn, right. So into themselves,
Mm-hmm.
Like they will just be like, "Oh, you're completely wrong.
Yeah,
you don't know what the fuck you're talking about."
Yeah.
And I'm only the right one in the relationship type shit.
Yeah, I've done that a few times. I've been in that a few times with other people. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's probably.
And that's why I'm saying you gotta be open-minded, but sometimes you might be wrong too. You gotta own up to that mistake.
Yeah, true.
You gotta be self-aware.
You got, and another reason why you gotta be open-minded is because you gotta think about the other possibilities too.
Yeah, definitely.
Like it's not always just one possibility or one path. You gotta think about the wider, like.
Yeah, there's
reality.
Like alternate universes and shit.
Once you start thinking about why, that's when things start opening up to you. You know.
And the reason why I'm saying all this, like follow your passions and giving you all this advice,
it's a big part of it.
It's a big part of it before you go into a relationship, one. And then once you're in these stages of your life, like you start to enjoy yourself and you find your passions, you love yourself, you find self-growth and motivation, you start to enjoy yourself more and start loving yourself. You start respecting yourself as a person.
Absolutely.
And then if it feels like it's finally going your fucking way.
Yeah. That's the best way to put it, to be honest.
Yeah, and then when you feel like it's going your fucking way,
you kind of feel unstoppable.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And it's like you feel like you're strong enough to do anything.
Yeah, and you can ease off of like a breakup easier because you're more prepared if you're like following your passions beforehand and everything. And
that's why I think it's so dangerous for these people to hop in these relationships without having that self-love, man. Cause
it's like more dangerous that way.
They'll break up, get right into the rebound, and break up again.
It might even some are more vengeance than others.
Going in that cycle is just not a fun way. You're not learning. You're not evolving as a human being. You're not learning your own mistakes. You're not owning up to your own mistakes.
Yeah, just an unnecessary dark path to go on.
And to go back, if you're not strong, it's okay because you are strong enough, you know, and you'll always be able to bounce back up in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
Just accept your shortcomings and grow, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And to leave that off, that is my intro before I even got into into a relationship and what kept me going before I got into a relationship. Do you guys have any questions?
I got a lot, man.
Before I get into the actual relationship part.
Now he's all relationship questions now. So
okay. Well then we'll wait and we'll take a break right now. Welcome back. We back on from the break.
Thanks for coming back. Appreciate
Love is still in there. And guess
Augustine,
what?
Not me. Okay.
Guess what? Now that, you know, we're done with the intro of, you know, me telling you guys my process and some advice for you guys about my process before finding love. Now we're going to talk about me actually being in a relationship now.
Yeah, we touched on it, but now we're going to be keeping it on topic.
Yeah, now this would be directly just about, you know, me in a relationship.
Sure.
Hopefully some of those advices will help some of you guys. Or
man, look, y'all pay attention. Look. I don't like just coming at you. Pay attention, but there's some real good stuff for y'all to retain. You know, take with you. So you know you don't have to, but I promise you, there's not a single thing that we telling you that ain't gonna benefit you. I mean, unless I come back here next year and I'm single, looking stupid. I think this advice is really helpful.
But what I was gonna say was actually I forgot what I was gonna say.
Well, being in a relationship, you know,
right. So
actual advice of being inside of it.
I think so. Once you feel like you're doing well straightforward right now. I think once you're doing well for yourself, the universe will drop someone lovely for you.
Ooh, that's a bar. Yeah. That boy
and
preaching. That boy preaching.
That's nice.
It's just when the world thinks you're ready, they'll just drop someone like, here's that perfect person. Bam.
Yeah, it's like whatever energy you bring out there, you get in return. It's kind of like that.
That lovely person for me is my lovely girlfriend Hazel. The universe just dropped her just right in front of me, and we started talking, and you know, here we are dating.
Yeah.
We went to 3 trips together. So
yeah, they just came back from the Caribbean. You know how insanely awesome that is, man. Come on.
Yeah. And also, I just want to shout out to my girlfriend Hazel. Much love to her for supporting me and always hyping me up, making me a better person too, and always, you know.
That's true love right there, y'all.
Love too.
That's true love right there, man.
For real.
Yeah.
Okay,
any questions for me, boys?
Yeah, I got a question. So back to like meeting family and everything. Like, how do you know when you're ready to like meet their family?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think when to meet the family is when you think you're comfortable in the relationship with her or with that person first before you make a big jump.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you know it's like more secure.
You got to make sure the relationship is a secure relationship, knowing that you guys are planning to last forever, right? Not some like quick fling.
Yeah, true.
Because you don't want to meet a family. You don't want to meet no family with a quick fling.
And they won't respect that either.
And the family would be like, "What the fuck?" type shit.
I have been in 2 relationships where I met the families and had, you know, it was great, but because we met on dating apps, we had to sit here and come up with a story. We met this summer at this school that we ain't never been to. That's just funny. To avoid the topic. So. You speaking facts, man. You gotta make sure that this is a relationship that you want before you go to
or else the family find that fishy and shit. Yeah, and it really depends on the family, right? Of how they view like the other person that they're in the relationship with.
Some don't care, but personally, if I was a father and my daughter said she met her man off of Tinder.
Oh yeah.
Well, you better get out of my house right now.
It's gonna be more embarrassing.
You better get out of my house right now.
That would be my biggest fear.
Well, you better get out of my house right now.
That'd be pretty awkward.
I don't know what the future holds of like the dating scene, but my biggest fear right there.
Good so far, so it can't be good then. It looks like it's only gonna get worse, you know.
Yeah.
But then.
But yeah, I think it's just when it gets to a comfortable stage and you guys know you guys are stable, you guys are gonna have something big going on in the future. Yeah. Not something like easy, quick. Something worth fighting for too.
Yeah, that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah. Also, my humble opinion, I also think that if you know for a fact y'all don't got no problem solving skills in our relationship yet, don't you dare go to no family meeting, because if y'all have a problem, that's it. That's the end of your relationship right there, because you don't know how to fix it. And your whole family know. Yeah, so you better know how to solve some issues first.
Like it's kind of just embarrassing too. In front of your own family.
Yeah.
Because as a family man myself, I want them to know they taught me well, and I want to show them that they taught me well.
Good point.
Yeah. By you know, doing the introduction right and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I'm a respectable person that they taught me to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And also I want to be a respectable person to my significant other's family to show that I am the good one for her. And I am that man for her.
Yeah, because I can imagine there can be so many ways of that going wrong and meeting the other family.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not careful.
First impressions matters a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, for sure.
For the family, at least.
Yeah.
Because, like...
You might never recover from a bad experience.
Yeah, true.
I'm serious.
Unless they're a very forgiving family, which I know people know a lot, too.
Yeah, first impressions matter a lot in that case, especially.
But going off about relationships is I have a really good advice personally for me. I'm not no love guru, okay? This is just my personal experience that works well for my relationship, and hopefully it'll help your guys and help your audience as well. It's kind of what I based off before the intro, not before the intro, during the intro. You gotta know that your partner is not you. They're a whole nother person,
and it's okay to be different.
You guys may have like similarities, but just know that does not make them you.
Okay. It's like if it was you, you're just fucking a clone of yourself.
So that's huge for like problem solving skills, man.
And this is why I'm saying you gotta have an open mind, you know. Because, you know, like like we said about the communication, you know, you gotta learn how they communicate, and how, you know, you communicate is different too.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I actually had a question on top of like communication and trying to work things out. Like if there's like a disagreement, how do you guys like work around it?
Same thing.
Oh really? I did. Oh shit.
So if there's a disagreement, how do we work around it? That's a great question.
Yeah.
So as you know, you cannot avoid fights.
Yeah. You were talking about that the other pod.
Yeah, the other pod.
Communication.
So
where
there's a disagreement, the only best way is just to communicate.
No.
Yeah, for sure.
If it turns into an argument, take that as a learning curve, and just find ways to make it not an argument and actually have a way to communicate two adults talking to each other. Yeah, true.
Because if it was just a lack of communication, it'll just be like it would just like mess it up completely.
But to answer your questions, we try to talk it out. Like I give out my, you know, what I think.
You lay your cards on the table.
And then she lays out what she thinks.
Yeah.
And then we either try to find a solution, a compromise, something like that.
That also helps.
Or we usually, you know, just figure out like who did what wrong and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it would be me, sometimes it would be her. Sometimes, you know, you'll be in the wrong.
Yeah,
and
true.
You're gonna act like, that's why I'm saying you gotta have an open mind and be like, you know what, you know, step your ego down. You are right. I am in the wrong.
Yeah, that's a good way to like keep yourself from being passive aggressive, because that like lack of communication, you can be like passive aggressive in a way, and that
makes me ask, right? Because this ties to what you're saying before about knowing the other person. What if the other person, right, or it could be you, it might be the person, really doesn't have those problem solving skills, and there's problems like y'all got into an argument, and let's say she storms off, run away, angry, she don't respond for a week. How would you deal with that kind of situation?
Well, unfortunately, fortunately, my girlfriend is not that type of person, so I cannot speak upon that experience. But my personal advice for that if a situation was in like that scenario.
Yeah, just miscommunication.
I would not be in a relationship with them, because that's a very immature response.
Yeah, it's an ugly sight.
At that point, you're willing to run away from finding a solution than making a solution.
Now I got another question for you. Then, what if that same person had it every time she did try to actually talk things out, her man started hitting her, beating her. So nowadays she has too much trauma to want to have those arguments or conversations. What do you do then? You still
that makes sense. So if that's a scenario, then you're just gonna have to give her that space and let her know, like, let her find out that you're not that type of person. Give her that space and just let her figure that herself out, and then be patient with her. Okay,
so what you're saying is past traumas can really have an effect on how you have to handle things. You have to be aware of that kind of thing, right?
Yeah. So it really depends on the scenario. There is 2 scenarios like that, like where, okay, yeah, that person doesn't have any trauma. She'll just run away, or they will run away, because that's how they problem solve. That's just immaturity. Where in case there is like a actual, like, traumatizing past experience, that's when you kind of have to be understanding and be a little bit more patient and be like, okay.
You might not even know at first until it happens.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so important to know what you're saying.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm saying you gotta be, to going back to having an open mind.
It all goes
you need to understand her past,
and vice versa,
and know why she acts. Sorry, you know what? I'm not gonna keep saying she, but I'm just gonna talk abroad. Yeah. That's once you learn like their past, you'll learn why they're acting that way.
Yeah, that's a big important part of it.
Because like, let's say like an ex cheated on you. You're gonna
be distrustful.
You're gonna be distrustful. You're gonna be having a guard behind your back, and then your significant other would kind of need to be patient and be like, okay, I know like why they're acting like that, because they got cheated in the past, and you just gotta step up and be that person and be like, I am not that person, and show them in the process of you guys building a relationship
and be
that
consistent
you're not that
that
person.
way,
exactly.
So she knows.
Oh man, that's why it's always so bad having to hear the comparisons to exes, whatever gender, that kind of.
Yeah, it's already rough. Like talking about your exes is a rough flag itself.
It's like you can be completely different from anybody she's ever met, but they've ever met, but they're still going to try to compare.
Yeah, I think it's worse when they freshly came out of like a toxic relationship. Worse, like if they
I think when you come out of a toxic relationship, you should not jump into the next relationship.
Yeah, you need like a good time.
You need to process what's a good relationship for yourself.
Stop rebounding. We ain't playing basketball. You ain't the center, man. Come on now. Stop rebounding.
So another big thing about having open-minded, it's to also understand their thought process, so you can also understand a way to reassure them and assure them, in a good way of like the relationship.
I think if you can really show a person,
and that's how they make them feel comfortable too.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Come.
Any big other questions?
Oh, I got plenty.
Because I got a lot of advice out there that I can hand out too.
Just to touch back on, since we're talking kind of more on the problematic sides, what's the most common, right? Be broad here, right? What's the most common misunderstanding that you face in a relationship? And again, be broad. That means, could that be miscommunication? Could that be scheduling?
Misunderstanding. What do you mean?
Okay, so it could be maybe one day you're too tired, so you text your GN instead of a full written good night, and they're like, oh, I guess this person's done with me. So I'm keeping it broad. What's the most common most common problem you face? So it could be scheduling. It could be a misunderstanding.
No, it's misunderstanding. It's more like assumption based. It's not just so. I'm gonna give some examples, not direct examples, but it goes both ways with me and her. Me and her likes to assume things of each other. Oh, yeah. So if she's like looking sad, I'm like, why are you like sad? Like, what did I do?
Yeah.
But you gotta think about it. It doesn't have to be about you. It could be like. True. Like it could be like
that reminds me so many times.
It could be like, oh, like for her perspective, it'd be like, oh, actually my cat is sick. That's why she's sad, because she's like worried about she's gonna die or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna be like, oh my god, like why are you so sad? And like, is it me and shit like that? She's like, no, it's my cat, and that's like the big, misconception about like. Sorry, not what's that word?
Conception?
Misconception.
Yeah. About like what were we saying?
Just the common problems.
Yeah, the common problems.
Oh yeah.
I mean, forget my whole question. What in the Lord's name? All right. Well, moving on from that. If you got anything, Thomas.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, I mean, just besides those questions, it's what I'm trying to say is that like that's a big thing though. Like there's misconceptions about like stuff like going on. Like you can be assuming like
I can see
why are they mad? It doesn't have to be anything about you. It could be about like something
better
else.
approach is ask a broad question.
Yeah, it could be like why are you mad at me, stuff like that. No, it could be about work too.
Yeah, true, because you can't make it everything about yourself.
Yeah, and that's where you gotta communicate with each other. Like, hey, like. Sometimes that's where I'm in the wrong. I don't really communicate right away. I just already like I'm just like this, like a dead face, like I'm already like pissed off and shit. And she's like, "What's going on?" Like and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, "Oh yeah, like I'm sorry. I should be communicating with you. What's going on?" And then sometimes she'll be like assuming like that I'm mad at her, and it would take a while. It'll take a while, and she'd be frustrated. Like, why are you like mad at me? And I'm like, oh wait, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at like work. I just had a rough day. I'm tired and exhausted.
Yeah, you can tell by your energy.
Yeah, customers are throwing me off and shit like that.
Yeah.
Man.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna say, man, this brings me back to like personal experiences, man. This what you're saying is so important, right? Because I remember there was a time in a past relationship I had where I couldn't. So I was starting to hide how I was like feeling, right? Because I was struggling with things going on with the family and work, had nothing to do with her, right? And whenever I'll be frowning, pretty often, right? If you thought it would be about her, so then I would start just hiding it. Then I was just always neutral or smiling or whatever, and then. It started. That's when I actually legitimately did start having problems with her, because I'm sitting here, keeping things inside because I don't want her to assume I'm feeling some type of way about her, because I didn't know to just simply address it.
The thing for me is that I'm not used to addressing my issues too. Sometimes I'm really like keep it to myself, and sometimes I don't forget that I have a partner, but sometimes I forget to like communicate with her that like, hey, I'm sorry, like I am going through some stuff, but it's not on you, because you're actually making my day. It's just that I just got back from a rough day. The reason why I'm looking like this is because from that rough day.
And when you think about it, like people want to show like signs that you're going through something that day. They don't want to directly bring it up. But also
sometimes you get you let the thing get in your head so much. Sometimes you just even forget to talk about
That's
it.
what I was gonna say.
Because you're like constantly thinking about it, like, oh, that fucker at work.
It's like suppressed memory in a way.
And then you're like, I don't fuck with that.
That's what I was gonna say, man. People have no idea how.
Did that answer your question?
Oh no, it did. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say people have no idea how easy it is to talk about it. Like, oh yeah, of course, talk about it. If you're feeling bad, talk about it. But then they don't think when you're feeling bad, you don't want to talk about it.
Also,
that's
you don't want
energy kind of
shows that. You don't want to bring her down too. You don't want to bring. I didn't want to bring my girlfriend down.
Yeah.
Sometimes I didn't want to like let my shit honor to her.
Yeah, true.
Understandable completely.
But I realized that as a couple, you guys gotta talk about it, and then it's okay for her to take the problems away from you.
Yeah, you have to find that right balance of approaching where you don't bring her down.
I'm not gonna lie, it took me a while to understand that, and I'm still learning, how to do that too. She is my significant other. I should be able to depend on her, and she should be able to depend on me.
Good point.
Yeah, good point. I think that's the biggest misconception about
It's problems.
Problems.
And trying to communicate your personal problems and stuff.
Yeah, sorry if that was a little rough start of the answering that question, but hopefully that cleared that up.
Nah, I think that's exactly what I wanted them to hear.
Yeah, that answered that question. Exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty much just answering off the dome.
Because I guess the first example I didn't really use correctly.
No, it's okay. So what I'm taking away from this, right, is that communication plays. A lot of people today have trauma. Communication is the only way to get over that trauma, but trauma is the main problem, or why there is miscommunications in the first place. So it's all about finding the balance, like you said. Yeah. So, well, I guess for you guys, right? What I'm taking away from this, how to deal with traumas, is to be able to just communicate.
And you can get better each time from learning from previous situations.
Not just communicate, but you gotta understand the process of why they're going through it too.
Communication and being open-minded.
Exactly.
You gotta be flexible with that.
I like that.
Having the patience too is really important, because if you don't have patience,
that just mostly toxic relationships too.
Okay. Yeah. So that answers a few of my questions, like how to work through your problems. But you know what? That's all the negative stuff. There's too many good things to have, especially in this man's relationship. He really isn't the ideal one to not talk about and touch on, right? One thing I wanted to ask, right, and this is something I brought up in the other love podcast, because I keep saying how if I was in a relationship, I would stop developing, right? But I'm learning, developing don't stop if you truly want to develop. So my question to you is, in what way has your developing changed after being with her? Because I know you said you started to grow after meeting her. Do you think you had a spike in motivation? Do you think maybe you had more confidence to taking on the things you did? What happened for you?
Gave you a boost.
What happened for me is a spike of motivation to do better, to get things done.
Yeah, and additional
because
things.
You're not just doing it for yourself.
I'm a little embarrassed to say. I'm not embarrassed to say this, but I'm shy to say this. Not embarrassed.
Oh yeah.
So the thing is that I find her as a wifey material, and to sum this up, basically.
So he was lying. He did say he wants to marry her too.
Oh, that was actually one of my questions.
But what I'm trying to say that when you find wifey material, it changes a man. You want to get your shit situated, and you want to work on goals where you can get financially stable to have a place with her, that you can call home.
I actually have a question on top after you're done.
And then on top of that, if you want kids with that significant other, you're gonna have to be stable to have kids. You gotta have money. You gotta put a roof over their house. You gotta put some clothes, got food and stuff, all that.
Yeah, actually, I have a question on top of that.
And that, for me, that builds up.
Nah, I get it. I understand what you're saying completely. What were you gonna ask?
Yeah, it relates to it though. This is completely on topic.
Oh,
when do you feel ready for marriage in your firstborn? When do you know you'll feel ready?
Ooh. Well, he already said he was. What? No.
Oh yeah,
I'm joking.
I think being ready comes within a lot of time.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It could be a short within time, but it's just depending where your relationship is at.
Yeah.
Right now,
it can always develop more and more.
Yeah, because you don't really know a person not even within a year, to be honest.
Yeah.
You'll find more and more
Things
about
fluctuate
them.
a lot.
Change
over a few years span.
I know a lot of people that left the relationship because they didn't know something about this person over a broad of 6 years of dating.
Yeah, sometimes true colors delay a lot too, depending on what's going on.
Yeah, I do that a lot. Yeah,
and being ready, I don't think so to be ready to have a kid.
Oh yeah,
it's like I said, you got to be financially stable and be able to put a roof.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
and you got to make sure your partner's ready too, not just yourself.
Yes, but also prepares you to take care of a child too. That's important. Because you don't want to be unprepared, and then the child.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You gotta have to have the stability to have a child.
So even if you,
the child has a good life,
I'd say even if you were perfectly ready, you were rich, you were the perfect mental.
That's also wanting a child too. Yeah, you can't just go in and not want a child and have a child because it's not healthy for the child too.
So I'm assuming you would get married first. I'm assuming,
I think that's. That's common sense to me, but
like, I mean, before.
Right now, that's way above the future.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, for me, it's just building stones into that future.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's how it's been.
So it's not.
Slow progress.
It's not.
Yeah.
I can't answer that question directly to you because
you don't want to answer. No,
no, it's not about not answering. It's just you got to build these stepping stones before you completely have that.
Yeah. I know it's one of my bolder questions, but
no, it's a great question.
Yeah.
It's a great question.
Oh yeah, thanks.
It's all good. Well, for me,
you would have to ask a marriage man, not me. I'm a couple. I'm a couple, but not a married man.
Yeah, that's like next level.
That'll be the next.
Oh, that's the true end game.
That's the true.
Maybe that'll be my question next year.
This isn't the end game.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick before you even move on from that, for me, right, I've seen so many examples of marriages, right, where they were perfectly well off and set, right, and but they still rushed to marriage because they were well off and set. They're like, what's the worry? But then because it was so quick, like 2-5 years, between meeting each other, then the problem started showing up after they got married, after they've been for 6.
It leads up to a divorce.
The 10 years, yeah. So it's like for me. Man, even if you're ready, you gotta give it some time, bro. Give it some time because things are always gonna change.
Because you see a lot of patterns with people, even if they spend 2 years together.
Well, you gotta understand that everyone grows as a person. Everything changes. Mm-hmm. You gotta grow. You gotta like I said, open mind. Open mind. You gotta have an open mind.
You gotta make that a slogan.
Yeah, you gotta get through the thick and thin with them a lot.
You gotta
different situations.
You gotta learn their new their new hobbies and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true.
Be okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See if you can stick through them through like every situation. That's like a testament before deciding to like move on to like a marriage or anything. Yeah.
Fun fact for the viewers.
What's crazy, guys? You guys are talking about marriage
already,
but it's just about being a couple relationship. You guys are talking way above the end game.
I know it's a future question.
This is not the end game. There's another part of the end game.
All right. I'll bring it off.
That is just wild.
You ready? You ready? Now that you found your partner, do you guys plan for marriage or you let it come naturally?
Oh God. It's like similar.
No, I had to ask you. It's right there.
Yeah. Slightly different though.
I'm not being that serious.
No. But like, to answer that question, the serious note from my perspective about that is that, I mean, I do plan to want to marry her because, like I said, she is wifey material. It's hard to explain. It's something. It's
not something you can think about right now. It's just not.
Yeah. No, it's not something you can't think about. It's just something like you can't really like just.
You can't grasp it yet.
It's like unrealistic to like think that ahead. Right?
Yeah,
you can't grasp it yet
at a current state like this.
But it's also just the stepping stones, the building stones towards that.
I just like asking some questions. Like,
my question was kind of similar.
Yeah. You guys are wild asking an unmarried man about a marriage question.
No, I asked you if you want to get married.
I do want to get married.
Yep. You see, that's it right there.
That is the answer to that question.
All right. Now we can segue off the marriage thing. How would you keep your relationship fresh in the future? Like, how some relationships get stale eventually. Like, how would you keep it like fresh? Like,
would you try new things or would you just
do
the same
thing
things?
Is that you guys gotta find like hobbies together to do. You guys gotta go on trips,
so it's not
go on
stale.
adventures. Yeah, don't just do the same shit.
Yeah,
like a routine. Do something new.
Yeah, I definitely believe that too.
So on top of that, what you're asking, this is an advice for all you guys out there, that you could take or not take. But this is what personally helped me in my relationship, and what makes me happy and what makes her happy. I believe so. Do something you guys both enjoy. Whether it's shopping, eating, gaming, social media. Like meaning social media, like doing like social media videos and shit like that, couple videos, the gym, art or whatever it is. Just like find something that you could spend quality time with.
Yeah, true. Because I do believe like you need to have some similar hobbies you guys are both into, but
it's something like you're both passionate about and that you guys are able to do. Because
you don't necessarily have to be the same, like we talked about earlier. Like you guys can be different, but you guys need to share some hobbies.
I found some TV shows that we watched together, like we talk about and that we find funny. And then we played that game, the what's it called? The Overcooked.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Overcooked. That's one of the games that we got into. We got into like eating a lot and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And we got into the social media.
Y'all be cooking? Y'all be cooking?
Yeah, we got into cooking, like actual cooking too.
Oh, nice, like at home.
We got into traveling, doing like activities and stuff like that.
Since you guys are foodies, you guys probably go to restaurants a lot, I bet.
We try to save up because we're gonna try to do a big trip. That's Japan.
Oh damn, that's a really big one.
Yeah.
I mean, a popular place too. Yeah.
But that's one of my biggest advice out there, to spend some quality time. Find something that you can spend quality times and have passion with.
Yeah, that was a good answer.
Yeah. So now since we're talking about traveling, you've done your traveling with Hazel.
Yeah, you want to plug yourself? Anything related to that?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, we'll hold off for that.
Secret premiere, y'all hold off for now. But what are some of your favorite adventures or a moment you can think of that just sticks with you in your mind no matter what?
What sticks with me the most is our trips to Canada. We did like
I thought it was her asking if you got back safe. I thought it was that, to be honest.
Links back to that.
That's not an adventure though.
I say adventure or a moment, because you know how moments can, sometimes a moment can be better than an adventure.
I think so. That's the one big thing. This adventure that we took made me realize that I could be with this girl more than months, years, seconds, and minutes. We went on a road trip to Canada. We weren't even dating at this time, like officially dating, but we were seeing each other. Yep. We just spent quality time like a couple would, and we really enjoyed each other's presence. And we were walking around like a couple. We're gambling. We're eating good food, street food in Canada. We were drinking. And, like, she was taking care of me. I was taking care of her. And she was worried about me. I was worried about her.
So it kind of felt like you got to live life how you want to live life, but not with a partner.
No, it gave me a perspective that I could be in a relationship with her. Like, it gave me a clear perspective, like, oh, damn. This girl is the right one for me.
You'll definitely see that a lot more than just a regular, like, hangout or...
It taught me that I could be in a relationship with her and that I can be comfortable with her and be myself. Because that true moment, I was able to be myself and, hang out with her.
That's good, man.
And have a full day with her and be able to be like, I can be with this girl.
Yeah, it's like a testament at the end of the day.
That's good, man.
Another big advice for you guys out there, we talked about this again, but there's no perfect relationship out there. There's always going to be some struggle, and you got to go through trial and error. Yeah. You just have to. You got to face the trial and error. You can't run away from it.
I got a question about that. You ready?
What's up?
So, do you feel like in this relationship there are less negatives than others, or do you just feel like it doesn't matter and you're just more ready to handle the negatives? That make sense?
You're saying there's more negatives in this relationship?
No, I'm saying I'm asking you,
less.
Are there less problems in this relationship than others that make it better than them?
Who are you comparing it with, though? Or
is it just that you know how to handle problems better?
But what were you comparing it to?
So this relationship you have right now and past relationships you had, does this relationship you have right now have less problems?
Well, I wouldn't. So the thing is that I don't really think I had any real past relationship till today. Well, not till today, but till now. So
fair enough.
I think it's me more just learning about try to solve these errors together with her and being communicative with her.
Okay, so it's nothing to do with this one more so being... I mean, obviously this is better than others, right? But it's more so that this is just what's right, what works.
It's what works for both. It's you're asking a lot of personal based question about me, but you gotta understand it takes two to be in a relationship. It's also what works for her, and how we communicate, and what works for me too, and how I communicate with her.
Well, hold on. Let me stop you right there. So this is actually meant for them. All right. The whole reason I asked this, right? A lot of people will say, I had this ex relationship, and now I have this new relationship, and there are just not the same problems as that one. Therefore, this relationship is better. But in reality,
the thing is that
cases,
let me pause you there. You should never compare any relationships together if you're talking about comparison, because they're all gonna be different.
Yeah.
Like you might face similar, things, but they're always different.
A lot of variables.
But for the viewers, right, is that there's a misconception that relationships can be better than others, which absolutely is the case. But I'm talking about specifically problems. The problems that have arrived in old relationships that aren't arriving in this whatever new one that you could be in. Now the whole thing is that I'm saying that it's not simply because a relationship is better than the other or even comparable. It's the fact that you're now more willing to handle those problems. You see what I'm saying here? So for a viewer, it ain't about just specifically being a relationship, or that's I'm not making sense to y'all. I feel like I'm cooking, but ain't no way listening. All right, hold on, y'all.
Your question is a little offsided by me right now.
Well, you're thinking. I think you're thinking about it too personal to yourself. This is broad. This is real broad here. I'm trying to say, like, it has nothing to do with relationships being better than another. It's the simple fact, or this one having. Say, I'm gonna give you a number. Relationship.
But if you're asking me, then you're asking based on my experience, though. No.
Yeah, as an example. So that's why.
Yeah, but that's what I'm telling you. I don't have any past relationship to tell you that information. I'm telling you based off my own experience right now, as what I'm going through. Right.
Okay. Fair enough.
Because if I had past relationships like I have right, like that was similar to like this, I would be able to answer that question.
All right, I like that.
Because. You're asking a question that a guy that can't answer a question that haven't experienced. Because if it's based off my experience, then I'm telling you I can't answer that because I don't have past experience like as serious as this relationship.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's too different to compare, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
good way to put it.
Yeah, because it's like I don't know. I can't compare it to anything else.
I guess that's the best way you could answer.
Yeah, it's just you can't ask a guy about something that he hasn't experienced. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Kind of goes back to my part. I can only say so much based on experience. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but I'm sorry if I can't answer that question for you guys because I'm not gonna lie. I don't really have much experience in relationships. Like big relationships like this that I could based off like that question that Desmond asked. But hopefully other stuff that I have that could inform you guys that will teach you and educate you guys.
I think I absolutely can.
Another big advice that I can give out though is I already said this, but so you gotta go trial through error, right, with your partner. But you gotta stay strong and go through it, There's usually some relationships end through like the trial and error. They don't really fight through the trial.
Yeah, so that's what I believe in too.
If you can stay strong, then you can really do something good with your relationship.
Yeah, there really is no stopping your relationship. It's kind of just what you want to make of it.
Yeah.
It's just standing on your ground with your significant other and just fighting through it. If you can't, then you're just obviously not really ready for a relationship, to be honest.
Yeah. Go on there. Preaching again. Preaching again.
And just know that change will always happen in relationship because humans, we always constantly grow, but in a relationship too, relationships will always grow as well.
For you, right? In this relationship, all right, I think the viewers, we already know the answer to this, right? But if we can try to connect with them, I'm getting an impression that for your relationship, the more important thing is growth over comfort. I mean, obviously you balance the comfort well with it, but growth over comfort for you, right?
Yeah. So the thing about if you get too comfortable, you're gonna not really seem to enjoy something, and that and I speak upon not just relationship, just about anything. If you're too comfortable at work, you're just gonna be like, I'm doing this shit repetitively, and just a robot mindset. You gotta have an uncomfort mindset and have growth and find ways to do adventurous things like Thomas was asking, like something that will excite the relationship more and stuff like that. Find new ways to find more love for your significant
because if you're too comfortable then you ain't living,
yeah, and then you're not finding new ways to love your partner in a healthy way.
Oh yeah.
I got a question for you about that. What do you do to avoid sitting in a room all day with your partner, not doing nothing, maybe just watching TV shows and getting down nonstop? Because a lot of people are just doing that, and I used to do that too. How do you avoid that?
Well, the thing is that it's okay to have days like that.
You just gotta balance it out.
You just gotta balance it out. Like, it's totally okay to have a relaxed day with your partner and just watch TV and eat some chips and shit like that. Smoke some weed, drink some alcohol, enjoy your guys' presence with each other. And there's days where like we would have a schedule to do like certain things, like, hey, we gotta get chiropractor at 12 p.m. Or hey, you need a dentist appointment at 9 a.m. Or hey, I need to write my notes for this podcast. And she'll do like, she'll probably have something she needs to do for herself on the side, and I'll just be on my desk, and then she'll be doing something on the bed with like her own project, and I'll be working on my own project.
Working around the schedules.
Yeah, so it's just
keeping the balance.
Yeah, keeping a balance and just balance be open about like what you need to do for yourself too. Like tell her, hey, I need to, or tell them you need to work on some, and then hopefully they have something they have work on too.
I guess it's important for two things. For the main things, right? You don't want to get behind in your life just because you're in a relationship, because that shouldn't be the case. But number two is what we were talking about before, things going stale. Because if you lay in bed all day, every day, for every single week or every day of the week for a year on it, you think you're still going to enjoy it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just going to go stale. So, man, having the balance, you're right.
Yeah, you don't want to be super bored and then they'll also be bored. I say they as in broad, not... Yeah.
Okay. Well, you got to understand, like, we're adults now. They're probably working. You guys are probably working on work. You guys probably do other shit. You guys are gonna get tired. You guys are gonna have time. You're gonna need to have time to just chill.
It goes back to keeping it fresh. Each week, it's at least slightly different schedule, like different activities, and it goes back to freshness.
Okay.
Another big advice is communicate everything. I know we talk about this every time, but it is a big deal. Communicate with everything. Don't let your partner run wild in their mind, and just assure them, because you want a healthy relationship. Keep it open conversation about what's going on with your head and going on with in the other head, letting them know that nothing bad's gonna happen. Making sure you guys are both okay. Making sure that the relationship will be okay and it's still healthy.
That was actually one of my questions. Is that the most important key to a healthy relationship, communication?
It is,
because I know you link back to it. And
it is because
that pattern.
As you know, I'm an overthinker, and I like to assume things too.
Yeah.
And without reassurance or communication, or sometimes me not even saying anything to my girl and just letting my frustration out last minute, can kind of damage the relationship.
Yeah, I see that.
And the reason why I'm saying you gotta communicate, they can help you process your mind better, and assure you everything will be okay.
Yeah, and that's how you can work around each other and be reasonable.
And then you kind of feel the comfort, you're in a safe zone, and you're there's someone behind your back.
Yeah, definition of non-toxic.
At that point, it's any problem that arrives, y'all can take care of it, because y'all been taking care of
it.
Problems.
Definition of healthy relationship right there. Yeah.
It's just talking is really important. I said this before too. There's a lot of similarities with the old podcast, not the old podcast, but the previous podcast about the love, is that you gotta talk at work. You gotta communicate at work too with your bosses and shit. To keep a healthy company.
It's a big part of it.
You gotta talk in your friendship, communicating in friendship to keep a healthy relationship with you guys and stuff like that. You gotta talk with your family, keep a healthy relationship with them too.
Yeah,
the same thing in a relationship. You gotta talk to keep a healthy, ongoing relationship, and not let your mind go run wild.
Yeah, it's bro, that's with every relationship, not just boyfriend and girlfriend relationship. It's also friends and
I'll tell you this,
business.
Every time after work, even I don't have a bad day, I just like to lay with my girl and cuddle her up. As corny as it sounds. As corny as it sounds.
Because you smiled at me.
No. I just looked at your way. I did not smile. As corny as it sounds, you're gonna feel you're safe, and I look at her like she's the most precious thing in the world to me, and like I just feel like I'm in good hands.
Yeah, that's pretty real.
I feel my mind's in peace. Like I know I feel like I'm okay. Like I'm good. I'm safe.
Man, y'all hearing this? This is a man who has been through some things, talking about he's at peace, he's loving this, bro, and he's giving y'all all the keys. Come on, man, y'all gotta listen up, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, this is like the most important podcast out of the three.
I feel like this is the keys to success right here, man.
Well, another thing is that I want to say that you gotta also remind yourself and your partner that it's your guys' own world, like you know, in your own world.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, everybody's in their own world.
Yeah, that you guys are in your own world and you can both run it together. Don't let anything get in your way and stuff like that. Don't let anybody, you know.
Yeah, because other people can be in their own world too at the same time.
But in a relationship, you guys have your own world now.
Yeah. It all connects.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's important to, you know, have that too. It's because, you know, you guys share a mind at this point. You guys should be sharing a
it's
mind.
like combining Mars and Jupiter or some shit.
It's like having a home together in the mind, though.
Yeah. He's speaking facts here. Yeah. I think for me, man, I'm getting a lot of takeaways about this. So I've already realized a lot of the mistakes I've had were through communication, and I'm hearing from you. A lot of the positives you have are from communication, you know? So it's like...
Well, there's negatives, you know,
we have to
through my communication and through her communication, but it's also, like I said, it's also just trying to find ways to accommodate both for communication and work it out and understand each other.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. In our own languages.
Mm-hmm.
But to short this up, I just like I said, I'm no love expert or no love guru. I don't have all the experiences. That's why I couldn't answer directly at Desmond's message or question and to answer to send you guys that answer. But these are my personal experiences with my girlfriend, right? And some advice that I, you know, that helped my relationship would hopefully help yours. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm still figuring it out as it goes, to be honest.
Yeah, that's how it goes, man. Yeah. I mean, it's not like you ever get...
Just got to figure it out from there, yeah.
It's constant growing, man.
Yeah. You guys have any more questions before we head?
No, we kind of ask a lot of the same questions, so...
Yeah, true. Yeah. I mean, if it's the last question, then I guess I have a question I could end off with.
Yeah, what's up?
Any last advice for... I guess I know you already kind of answered that to a certain extent, but like specifically for like people who are struggling to specifically look for someone to settle with, like that are actually looking for that. Question. Yeah, specifically.
I think, like going back from the beginning is when you're ready to settle down. You can't.
Yeah, really so kind of it's like a callback to that.
Yeah, you can't really force yourself to settle down when you're not really ready.
Yeah, it just wouldn't be natural that way. I can see that.
Take the proper steps.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, before we head to end up our video here, our podcast, we're going to take a short little break. Thanks, guys. All right, we back in conclusion of the love pod of the relationship, you know.
Welcome back.
We appreciate Thomas and Desmond on their experiences and what they spoke about. And
mainly Augustine.
Thank you. Appreciate that. We all each have their own experiences, and we brought those out on 3 of our love pod. This is the final one.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, we don't have a married one, but
that
could be also next year love pod sequence.
Yeah, there's potential.
Season 2.
You plan to get married next year?
We'll bring a married man with more experience.
You're foreshadowing something.
Yeah. We also appreciate the love and support on the series and also the other pods that we got out. But in conclusion, I think this generation that we all know that just loves to party and love to do drugs and shit like that.
It's definitely...
There's still good human beings out there that are open to have good relationships and healthy relationships, not just a quick fling, a genuine relationship. And what I'm trying to say is don't give up on love. Like I always say, stay on your ground. Keep your head up high. Keep grinding.
And love yourself.
Love yourself, and we don't say that enough. You gotta love yourself first, and loving yourself is important. And the love pod doesn't always have to be about relationship or being single or finding someone. Or
it's broader than that.
Yeah,
right?
it's just loving yourself and then growing from there. Absolutely. We always say love yourself before you move on, to anything else.
Yeah, that's how it always starts.
Yeah,
so it's important.
You gotta have that confidence with yourself when it comes to like getting a new job, or trying to find a girlfriend, or anything, like you're trying to be an influencer, be this podcast. What I'm talking about. Don't rush into anything too. Have patience. Go at your own pace. Don't let any of these bad influences influence you. Always
have a mind of your own.
Yeah, create your own story. Yeah. Don't let other people create. We're
all in our own world at the end of the day anyway. Yeah.
Exactly. You guys got anything to say?
No, I just want to say thank you so much for watching.
Conclusion already. Yeah.
If you made it this far, there's clearly a message that you want to gain from this. So try these things that we share with you. Try them out for yourself. See if they work.
That's all love. We really do appreciate the support that we've been getting. Please like, subscribe, share.
Yeah.
Turn on your post notification type stuff. Shout out to Thomas for editing these videos and letting us use his space. Shout out to Desmond for creating these shorts. We just want to thank you guys too for giving the love again. Like we can't say we can always say it. It's not enough.
No.
We love the support.
Seriously.
We sign out.
Peace.